Hello everyone, hopefully everyone well. With you Yaroslav Shvets, and we'll do some really short broadcasting. So today let's discuss quite interesting topic about our logic. So let's talk about a great power of logic. So if mind has such a great tool, then appear the question why we not use it. So we will not go in really deep discussion in psychology, how our mind works, but conclusion, what we can make, it's a great tool, what we're using for the 1,000 years already, and probably not everyone use it quite well. By the way, not keep much attention about the background video. I just ending of my street workout, the place that I found, and yeah, about the logic, what we can see around. It's a pandemic. We need to boost our immune system, and all of the gyms and places for the activity it closed. What is just a great solution. So instead of give a solution and a suggestion for eat more herbs like ginger or vitamin C and do more activity, or parks and everything close, but people is awesome. Here like maybe 40 or 50 people around, we just jump through the wall, and later on some teenagers just break the gates. That's it. So it means quite a lot of people still have a common sense, what not really common for everyone. Well, I really like the description of the mind in a Buddhist philosophy. So let's say if we take Tibetan Buddhism, our mind is separated on different pieces. Let's say when you're really focused, in yoga it's called the samadhi state, you can totally be in certain action. So you can be really productive, really focused on certain things you're doing, and you can do it really well. So focused mind is totally different when you're in a kind of state of trance, when you meditate, when you're in a state without the thoughts. So it's completely different state, and it's really pleasant, really relaxed, really comfortable state you can be. But if you will stay in this state for a long time or forever, it's not really safe. Let's say dangerous animals or some other people with who our ancestors fight a lot. So basically such kind of pleasant state might be dangerous for us, for save our life, save our physical body, and so on. Also have a state of thinking, like normal state usually we are, when we can talk, we can analyze information, and when we can use our logic, can use our deduction and make calculations and everything. It's really useful tool. So basically, if you will use your logic, it's mean no one can manipulate you. So you just analyze information. Oh, it seems like a bullshit, So some people call it like a sixth sense, or maybe they can call it like intuition or whatever. But actually we don't know much about our subconscious mind, what is a great tools. So usually all of the information we analyze, we not keep it in mind, because we will be overloaded. We have like tons of information every day, even every hour, every second. So our subconscious mind keep attention literally on everything. So if you have a little bit of money, you can track yourself through the big data, through your smartphone, and you will notice they know about yourself much more than you are. Where you walk, on what signs you look, how many seconds you look in a certain signs, what attract your attention, and so on, what you not keep in your mind. So our subconscious mind remember literally everything. So if you get yourself in a hypnotic state, you can let's say get a lot of information from it. Yeah. So what some of the people call the sixth feelings or intuition, we already analyze the information, go to some conscious mind. So basically it works kind of like a really enhanced computer, and many people use it, like let's say for the sales. So all of the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming and so on, what wasn't proof but widely used for the sales and commercials and so on, subliminal messages and etc. etc. So it's kind of unproved, but everyone uses it and it works very well, because our mind, unfortunately, is really primitive machine. It's really primitive tools, and if you know how to use it, you can use it for get some benefits for yourself, let's say, and increase your opportunities. Or also someone can use it for, let's say, limit yourself, maybe abuse you, manipulate, and so on and so on. So what I try to say in the video, so main idea, if you will use power of your logic, no one, never ever can manipulate about your thoughts, about your feelings, cannot offer you something to buy if you don't want to, what basically widely used. And you can get such things like the freedom, at least the freedom of your mind. So if you think something like seems dodgy or it seems like a bullshit, probably more likely it is. Yeah, but unfortunately our mind is overloaded from all of the media and all of the information we get every day from socials, phones, TV, radio, and so on, and we might have kind of atrophy of the mind. And unfortunately many of people, I cannot provide you any statistic, not use the critical thinking much. We just believe to everything what we see, to everything what someone tell to us, and we're lazy to check it. And it's our nature. Unfortunately, we're a lazy creature, and our body always try to save the energy. That's why we not lose fat really effective. Our mind don't want to make any calculation, don't want to make any new neural links, because it needs to spend a lot of energy, and our body focus only on reproduction and keep alive, just to save energy. Hence, don't want to make any calculations. That's why we use a lot of different kind of exercises. Sometimes we do the certain things with the right hand, and after we do it with the left hand. Sometimes we use the right side, go to the house, then we use the left side, and so on. We always put a key on the same place, and then you put it on another shelf, and so on. You make something different, make something inconvenient for your mind, and you try to work your brain again and again and again and make new neural connections and so on. Otherwise, you will get atrophy. So if you try to use your memory, you work with the crosswords, try to memorize something, you read a little bit of books and so on, your mind always working. It's really powerful tool. And if you not use it, unfortunately you lose all of the great opportunity. I will give you like really simple example from psychiatry. So let's say if you use the gadgets quite a lot, so basically it became kind of extension of your body, and your mind think, okay, I no need to use our body because I already have kind of extension. It's a smartphone, and you press the buttons and you get any information. So I think, okay, I don't need to remember it because I can get access to information at any time. So body always try to save the energy, and this time we have a really big atrophy of the neural connection. So our core is like really tiny. Unfortunately, we're not too much enhanced from monkeys. Yeah, but we think, yeah, we are so special, so divine, so enhanced, and so on. Yeah, in real, our mind is really primitive, and if you know how it works, you can use it for develop yourself, or someone can use it for manipulate you, let's say, and can say any bullshit and you will believe it. For instance, when you long time believe in something, so any news you see, any information, any yellow page you read, you will believe it because you're lazy for double check and recheck the information. Only if you are not really skeptical, not believe anyone, or maybe have a kind of paranoia for recheck everything, but I'm not sure it's many people like that. And some people, they, let's say, born to be the detective. It's kind of the feature, and they not believe anyone, they try to check. So if you do it that way, you find out so much fakes and everything. And mostly what we see on the media and all of the news is just for make a really good sales. Let's say great example of the end of the world, what was like literally every year. So okay, this will be a huge collapse, will be no food, no nothing. It's mean on warehouse have a lot of food what will be expired, we will throw it away, need to sell, and people afraid, oh, it will be like big collapse, shops will be closed, we need to buy everything. And it's great tool what used for years, and it's just a simple example. It's like happen lots of it. So once again, if you think critically about anything, it's mean no one can lie you, because you can see this lie from the first seconds. And no one can manipulate you, because your mind recognize is a bullshit. Yeah, because if you have a really tiny doubt, it isn't truth or something, so probably it's not true. Yeah. And yeah, I just started explaining about separation of the Tibetan knowledge of the mind, where we have a normal state where we normally live in thinking, working and so on, use our logic, which is really important, so no one can make a fraud on you and so on. So basically you need to switch from one state to another and use it really effectively. I don't know why it's working that way, so it's obviously our body not developed, and maybe creator or whatever who create us made it in certain purposes for uses tools, who knows. But if you always will be in this kind of state, just analyze information, think critically and so on, you will be not focused on your sensations, on your emotions, on your feelings, and it will be really difficult for be happy. It means you easily can be stressed out and fall in a stress and depression state. So you need to use all of the kind of minds one by one when it's necessary, because when you relax in a trance state, you really within the nature, you can really enjoy it, you can really dive in this kind of feelings and sensation. Let's say you come in the park and you just enjoy the sound of the birds, you can touch the grass, you can really relax, and you can be happy with that. You can really enjoy your life with your friends and so on, do the silly stuff, whatever, make some fun videos or whatever you do, make some activity and so on. Literally anything, dancing, listen to some music, singing, whatever. But again, we have a logical mind what we need to use for save ourselves, not allowed anyone manipulate us and talk the bullshit and so on. So it's really necessary. Additionally, we have another state of mind. Let's say it's state with no thoughts, no feelings. It's when, let's say, you go to sleep and you knock out, wake up, and you remember nothing. So it's called the fourth state with no thoughts, with no any feelings, emotions. So you just dive to nothingness. Another state of mind is when you're sleeping and you can see the dreams, and dreams is really bright, nice and beautiful, and you really believe the dreams, but of course you cannot understand what you are dreaming. So it's called a dreaming state. So I try to explain it like on a fingers, really simple way, so everyone can understand what they're talking about. And also they have a state when you highly consciousness, when you're focused is stronger, and your realizations is on really high level. So it's might be when you do the visualization on a really high level, or in a meditation, usually when you practice quite a lot. Some people can do it in once, but usually people need to spend at least a week or even months time. It depends. Same like if you want to be a marathon runner, it depends how much time you will spend. Some people, they born to run, and after a few months of training they can go to the competition, and some people need years for be on a certain level. So another state when you're conscious in a dream when you meditate, when you visualize, etc. So let's say you are dreaming and you understand you are dreaming and you control the dream reality and you understand what's going on and you create the whole world up there. So basically it's called a lucid dream or yoga dreaming or fast state. Basically it's a lot of people who created different kind of brands during the last hundreds of years. So basically we can talk about the same thing with the different names and different description, but it nothing change. So if your mind on a certain level, you can control your dreams, so you're lucid dreamers. And many people practicing that and they turn their life in a most adventures possible. So they make their life really amazing, incredible, with no cost, just with some simple practice. I done already some videos about lucid dreams if you're interested on, so you can find it. Or also by simple search you can find some basic exercises you can practice in and you can be better in that. And who knows, one day you can get this wonderful experience what called the lucid dreams, and probably your life might be changed totally from that moment. And here I can make analogy same like to the exercises. So it's more time you spend on it, is so harder your training, is better results you will get. And it might take time. For some people it need only one day, a few days, a few weeks, and for some people might take a few months. It depends from our lifestyle, our mind, our beliefs, and it's a big bunch of reasons why we can do so and why we not can do so. So probably with a description of our mind, our soul, so our brain, how it works. And basically it's a huge similarity if we take from a Tibetan Buddhism or we go to psychology or psychiatry or so on. Different mind states in psychology described in a simple way by alpha state or gamma state or beta state. Yeah, so basically from a normal state of mind it can be shifted if you really focused, or if you go to the meditative state. What a lot of experiments was made on people who meditate, on people do the yoga, or just we try to be focused or think differently and so on. So it show on the monitor how the wave frequency and a part of the brain change, and it's great proof like we can be in different state of mind by ourselves. I didn't mention any medical treatment or drugs what can bring you to the certain state. Basically it's everything happen naturally. Same like a man or woman, we can be like really excited, like we I don't know, jump out from our pants and we totally focus on our feelings. And sometimes we can argue or get an anger with no control because we totally in this kind of emotion. And some people say more emotional and some people more rational. So let's say the man more logic and woman more emotional, and so on and so on. It also depends from personality. We are same, we have 2 hands, 2 legs and so on, but our mind and personality might be a little bit different. So if you have a simple basic knowledge from psychology, you know about the different type of personality and sub-personality and so on, what can work a little bit different. So again, I try to link all of the parts from this huge puzzle about our mind or our brain, or I don't know, about our conscious, you can call it whatever you want, or part of our soul what connected by mind. So still I have a really big question for you, why you not use it? So the main idea of the video, we talk about our logic. I will not tell you about a lot of different kind of exercises you can do, but it's a lot of different kind of games you can play, the Sudoku, crosswords, scan words. You can make a different kind of exercises for your brains, or you can try to pass the several different kind of IQ tests. It will not show 100% of your IQ level or how smart you are, how good your memory or so on, but still it might be really good exercises for your brain. And it's a lot of different kind of test on graphic, on math, on words, and basically the people who live in a different background, let's say some tribes in Africa and Asia, and some businessmen and painter. So probably they might see the things differently and they get a higher score on different parts, because mostly they use their brain in a different way. But we talk about the logic, about our critical thinking, about the analyzation of information. So why we not using? So try to be afraid of lose this super good skill about this feature what creator gives to us. And it's mean if you will be really critical, so no one never ever can manipulate you. And you will not believe any bullshit you can read in a newspaper or see in a magazine or maybe on a TV and so on, because it seems unreal for you. Some will like watching some movies. Some movies they made really realistically, yeah. And some movies is it's not possible for jump through the 5 cars and stop it with one hand, especially like Indian movies like to make a superhero with a superpower, and all of the physical laws not exist and so on, and it seems like too fake and dodgy and so on, and that stuff might be distract us or so on. But it still depends from the preferences of the movie. But in another case, when we're watching some soap drama and so on, our mind unfortunately not realize where's the truth and where's not. Is this picture is real or not? And the mind perceive all of the information what you watch from a screen like real. That's we have a real emotion, we can laugh, we can cry, we can really excited about a certain stuff what's going on. It's a really big art and a huge talent for transfer the feelings and all of the idea from someone's brain to the screen and transfer to another people. But subconsciously we can copy it, the good things and the bad things from a certain character, because we do it unmindfully. So if you are mindful, if you are focused, your life might be not that interesting. This horror movie is all fake, blood fake, no one dies, so you will get zero emotions from it, yeah? But when you really get into it, you're sitting alone in your dark room and you're super scary and almost scream and jump out from your sofa when something happens on the screen, because your mind really believes in that picture what's going on. So here's a good scene and a bad scene. It always depends how do you use it. So you have a super great tool what you can develop, what you can use it, but if you want it works very well, you need to use it more and more and more. So let's say like a detective, or let's say the character from Arthur Conan Doyle's story Sherlock Holmes, what he said, like only necessary tools what I need, and I use it very well. So it's mean if he use his mind for certain things, it will works in really enhanced level, and his logic will be really strong, and probably he will see something what other people not see. But what I try to point in the video, in all of the streams what we can see lately and overloads of different information, was probably some of it, or maybe most of it, who knows, might be false and not true on the radio, magazines, TV and so on. We really not recognize what's true or not, and we believe to everything, yeah, and we became weak and easy to manipulate by someone with their own reason and purposes, I guess. So to get more freedom, more opportunity for yourself, we can use our super perfect tools. If we believe in the history, in the way it was created, still I have a lot of doubts it's true or not, all of the history when we became from a caveman and just developed from one cell, who knows. All of the topics I keep in a open source. Let's say it might be or not might be, I cannot prove it, and I cannot deny it. Yeah, so any story about the creation of life, the God, the aliens, and whatever, I will keep in a box what called perhaps. But I try to use my logic, what I see on every day. Let's say have a lot of news like everything is good, economy is growing, everything fine, and so on. Then I go out the street and ask opinion of the people, and I see a different picture on the street, and people doesn't agree with that. So it seems like someone telling not true. I hope all of their life in general will be better, but who knows. But if we try to analyze it, and I clearly can see like someone follow the certain purposes, like in spreading information, let's say for get some money. Yeah, I believe in the money, I can see it clearly. Quite difficult to believe in a ghost or any high spirits or whatever, but everyone want to make some money, make good sales, so why not spend a little bit for the advertisement, for making better sales. It can be anything. It can be like washing powder or biscuits or whatever, and the more you spread the information, the more you spend on advertisement, probably more you get. So same thing might be happen with a test and mask and so on. So let's say I don't know if you can see on the video or not, like a lot of guys, it's maybe 40 people, mostly teenagers, they came on this huge place under the bridge for have some activity, play volleyball, tennis, badminton or whatever, play skate. And most of them don't wear the mask, and they come here every day like months, and everyone fine. And I saw only a couple of people who in a mask, and the place is closed. It's a big lock, but before the kids come here, just jumps through the wall, and now they just break the gates so they can walk through easily. And all of the activities like what keep you out from stress and depression and keep you joy and activity, what boost your immune system. If you know how it works, I will post a few videos how the boost your immune system and how it works in general, and probably about the thymus secretion and so on. So if you put all of the knowledge in one box, so all of the picture will be pretty much clear instead of all of the restrictions we can see. So it means some people how to say more correctly, logically they think the things is right. I cannot say what is right and what is wrong, and some people say, oh, you like socially dangerous for the people and so on, because you do the workout if I'm only alone, no other people around, no bothering anyone, because simply don't follow the rules, what on my opinion it's not true, and I make my own research. So okay, someone said to me, do this one, do that one, or whatever. I think, okay, does it make sense or not? And I don't know the reason, and I make my research, and it seems like it's not true, and the things I'm doing is much better by my own research, and I didn't found much information what can deny or prove another side. Then, okay, for me it seems right. In my opinion, you can do anything, like literally anything you want, at least if you're not bothering anyone. So if you not disturb other people, whatever, you can do anything you want. You can do painting, you can do dancing, listen loud music, or whatever. Make a crazy party. If you're not bothering other people, it's fine. You can use drugs, whatever. It's really up to you. Yeah, if you not disturb other people, don't bring any troubles, who care? No one care. But you know, probably many have like really boring life, and they always like worrying what's going on around their house and what other people do. Oh, why they not same like I am, and so on. What logically have no clue, but it's only just someone's personality. So once again, it's quite difficult to switch our mind from one state to another. It's not easy task, I'll tell you, especially when I try to meditate, spend the months, even go to the temple and so on. It's really difficult for stay in a certain state of mind for a long time and really control it your thoughts, control your feelings and emotions, and put your body in a certain state, let's say make a recall of certain emotions, make yourself happy or joy or whatever, but with certain time I was proved it's possible. It's not easy, but everyone can do it. You can do it also if you spend a little bit time for practice, for get a certain results. Not that difficult, but still you need to spend a little bit of energy on that. And yeah, our body is lazy, our mind is lazy, don't want to spend any energy, so we need to force ourselves a little bit for get a certain results. And basically it's make a difference to people who get the things they want, who are the successful, who they increase the results compared to others who just dive in the laziness and I just not feel right about it, it's too difficult and they spend a lot of time and so on. So the professionals who are really good, let's say, I don't know, in anything, in the painting, in composing music, in making videos, they spend hundreds of hours for get that experience, for get that knowledge, for learn the things they need, and that's why they're better than others. By the way, if I'm wrong in something, so you always can comment it, or you can share your ideas, your opinions, what do you think about, because it's only my personal opinion, what might be different from others. It might be, maybe I'm wrong, who knows, you can correct me, please, but for my opinion, in something, like I'm right. And why did I make the video? I talked to a lot of people, I met quite a lot of people almost every day, and can base my own statistic, what might be not really pleasant, I would say. Talk to many people and they don't use the logic at all, even on the 1%, zero. So if someone said, the bot said it should be like that, yes, and it's just written, it is blue, but you look at it as pink, it's probably, it's blue, and so on. And I guess in our technological world, when we use gadgets so much, when we sit on the computer or on the front of telly quite a lot, and we spend a lot of time with our phone, etc., so probably we forgot about the logic at all. And I didn't took the information from somewhere, so I just speak from this book, from that book, from my experience, from what people said to me before, what I studied and learned before, and so on. And when I talked to the people, so I saw that kind of problem, let's say. And that's why I decided to discuss these certain things, at least to share it with my friends, and hopefully you will like it as well. And I'm really interested in your opinion too about our logic and how many people they use logic really, and how high level of critical mind. It's not surprised, many people, they really unmindful. I will not mention how we pass the road and we look in a screen when we hit the other people, hit the pillars and so on, or we talk to someone, send a message and we get lost because turn in another way on a street nearby and so on. And some people, they even live in the same area but still use the navigation because it's more convenient, and don't use the brain at all for try to remember the place where they going and they walking and so on. Same, if you will make less activity, your body gets weaker and weaker. If you overload with the calories, it will get a bit fatter. If it will be not enough calories, it will be skinnier and so on. So it's same, if you will not use your logic, it will get weaker and weaker, and after this will be more and more difficult for reconstruct it. Same, if you, let's say, get a leg injury, you're not walking for a really long time, after it's really difficult to run. I think it will be not possible to run, it will be difficult to walk and need to spend a lot of time for get to the same state. Same, if we not use our brain, we not use our critical thinking, and we get the atrophy, it will get much harder for combat to the same state for use it again. And if you skip a little bit of statistic, please don't believe any single word what I said. Everything try to check by yourself, recheck. Who knows, maybe I'm totally wrong. but the statistic is really bad compared to the 70s, 80s, 90s, and now about the creativity, especially for the kids, how it's falling down and so on. Alright, so if you don't like the video, so please don't like it, don't share it, don't subscribe and so on, and if you do, you know what you're doing. So with you was Yaroslav Shvets, and time to go back home. So hopefully you like our discussion. And by the way, you can say a couple words if you're interested to know a little bit more what kind of videos you want to know. So be fit, healthy, smart, and I'll see you next video.